But if you eat too many, gives you super wicked gas. Hey y'all, this is Professor Chris with Rockin 8 University, and today we will be discussing Helianthus tuberosus. What is that, you might ask? Well, it's a fancy botanical name that I like to use because it makes me feel smarter than I really am. All right. Helianthus tuberosus, Jerusalem artichoke, also known as sunroot, also known as sunchokes, also known as other names, and now the fact that I'm not as smart as I like to pretend I am is coming out. So what exactly is a Jerusalem artichoke? If you don't know, it is a good perennial food crop. I'm trying to establish a lot of perennial, plant them once, give them some water, never have to plant them again type vegetables here on the property. From what I understand, because we actually don't have them naturally here, so they do grow naturally all across the central United States. And what it is a tuber that sends up a very tall stalk, 6 to 10 feet, I've heard, that gets really pretty little, like 3-inch sunflowers on it. And then when the stalks die back in the fall, you just leave these in the ground. Anything that gets left in the ground all the way till next spring comes back as a big sunflower again next year. But if you need some of these, you go out and you dig them up. As long as you leave them in the ground, they become another sunflower. If you dig them up, you can clean them up and eat them. They're very potato-like. I cut off just a little piece of one just because I really wanted to see what it tasted like. And they're potato-like, like not a lot of flavor on their own, so I assume they'll take the flavor of whatever you're cooking them in. But a perennial fruit crop that can stay on the property, multiply, come back year after year. They can be I'm going to use the word invasive. What I mean by that is that if you're not digging them up or you're not blocking their ability to spread, they'll just keep spreading. So I'm putting these in an area, guineas. Shush! I'm putting these in an area that I don't care. They can just go. And if they go too much, then I'll get in there and hack them back. But I really don't care. They can just go. So perennial food crop, like asparagus, like strawberries, you kind of plant them once, let them do their thing, and then you can harvest off of them forever, basically. So we're excited about getting these in the ground. They like to be buried deep, so I think I've got a pretty good system going on out here. We're going to get them some water and get these in the ground. So Helianthus tuberosus, also known as Jerusalem artichoke. I've been told that I can cut these things down and get more tubers out of them if they're bigger like this. So we're going to give that a shot as well. Now, my absolute favorite thing about Helianthus tuberosus, Jerusalem artichokes, is that from what I've heard, they're an excellent tool for revenge. I've been told by people who actually have them and eat them regularly that if you eat too many, gives you super wicked gas. So I see some unbelievably awesome Dutch ovens in the future of my household. Let's go get these things in the ground. All right, y'all, so we're here at one of our planting sites, and what we've done is we've dug a trench that's 6 feet wide by 6 feet long. It's about 6 inches deep, and we put the cardboard down in it. We've been saturating this cardboard every day, but it's been so windy that it dries out overnight. So the nice part is it has been saturated enough times now that all I have to do is hit it with a hose and it gets nice and wet again. So what I've done is I've got this 1/4 inch line that has a drip emitter. It's a 1/2 gallon drip emitter every 12 inches. I'm gonna lay this down in the trench. Every place that there's a drip emitter, I'm gonna cut me a little hole in the cardboard and I'm gonna place a tuber in that hole. Hopefully the cardboard will suppress the weeds long enough for the tubers to take off and really develop their sunflower. It'll also break down and provide eventual nutrient to this bed. And I've got the water here. So this water line, I didn't put it in just for the artichokes. The reason I put this water line in is because I've got figs down yonder, and we're planning on planting more figs up this way. So the water line was already here. It just seemed like a good place to put these Jerusalem artichokes, because if they expand too far that way and go under the fence, we'll just have sunflowers out in our pasture. If they go this way, they're gonna hit the road and they'll stop. That way is the only way I'm really concerned about, because there is a gate there. I wouldn't want to have to start cutting them back too much where the gate's at. And if they grow that way, I don't mind either. So this seemed like a good place. I have another patch the other side of the gate. I'll show you. So this is the gate we're talking about. We actually just recently took out all of this fencing. I needed some fencing in other places, and it was really horrible fencing. It had been crushed down really bad by horses in the past, and it was probably a 40-year-old fence. So there's the gate, and there's my other little patch that we're gonna put in. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just get the rest of this 1/4-inch tubing hooked up, and then we'll see about where we're gonna go next with this. All right, y'all, so all we did with this is just some stiff wire that I had laying around the house. Cut off a little piece, just kind of curve it into an arch, and you have yourself basically a tubing stake that you don't have to pay, 50 cents a piece from the hardware store. So we're just gonna use these to hold that 1/4-inch tubing in place. Now, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in here, and everywhere that there's a drip emitter dripping right now, that's where we're gonna make our hole to place our piece of artichoke. All right, so you can see what we have here. We just have little holes cut in the cardboard right where the drip emitters are. Tubers are put down in there. We only water our figs probably once every 10 days this time of year. So, they should get enough water to get them growing. The nice part is that once these start spreading, it'll just be this one set of drip emitters that's watering this entire bed of Jerusalem artichokes. And they will spread and die back for as far as the water allows them to. So the next step is to get our compost and sandy topsoil mix in here.
Chris and I were wondering what we would do if we won the lottery. Of course, we don't play, but we're weird. We would blow about $2,000 a month on this property.
It's not really blowing if you're investing it on your property, though, is it?
I mean, to me it is, because we don't have the money. So but I would buy you like the best tractor in the world.
So if you had money to spend, you would buy things that right now you consider frivolous.
Right.
Well, I can tell you, as the person who is shoveling all this dirt by hand right now, a tractor is not frivolous. Because if I had a tractor right now, I would scoop up that entire pile with one scoop, dump it, and then use the blade to smooth it out, and then walk away. Oh no, drive away.
Drive away. In your white shirt?
In my white shirt. Singing, she thinks my tractor's sexy.
By the time you get a tractor, you're not gonna need it.
I know, huh? I'm done.
If we won the lottery, I still wouldn't buy a dishwasher.
No, it's all we've got kids for.
Yeah. But as soon as they leave, we'll buy a dishwasher.
Exactly. The day we ship the last one off to college, we're going straight to Home Depot and getting a nice top-of-the-line dishwasher. Well, there you have it, my friends. 6x6 bed. There's approximately 10 roots, because we did end up cutting them up a little bit. So there's about 10 roots per bed. I've got 2 beds, and I've already discovered I'm probably gonna have to throw some fence around them, because certain somebodies like to walk right down the middle of the beds. Like I said, they're supposed to spread and create new tubers, and you basically are creating a bed of Jerusalem artichoke or sunchokes, like you would create a bed of asparagus. So we'll just see how long it takes for this to really start setting up. I'm hoping we actually get a few sunflowers out from this year. Next fall, we won't harvest any. We'll let the tubers spread. We'll let the tubers send up new shoots. We'll see how many new shoots we get next spring, so about a year from now. And go from there. But I would say within a couple of years, we're going to be able to harvest as much as we want as far as these Jerusalem artichokes go. And then we will let the gas wars begin. That's it for Jerusalem artichokes. Your education on the what is a Jerusalem artichoke and how do you plant it. Of course, this is an experiment for me too, because I've never planted them before. So we'll see how these come up. And if they come up well, then this video will be officially approved. For now, we're just fingers crossed. But this has been Chris with Rockin 8 Farm. And until we see y'all again, I want y'all to please be happy and live healthy.